Hey y'all, so this video, and excuse all this because I'm just doing everything on top of each other. This is not a happy planner. It was once a happy planner. Now, this is one of my swatch journals for my paint, my inks, my embossing powders if I want, my markers, my stickers, whatever. I made these books for myself because sometimes you need to know what color you have. Like this particular thing here, I don't know where this palette went. These are all the colors from the swatches from an art palette that I bought and lost. These are inks, and this video is gonna run for people who are into card making, people who are doing art journaling, people who are doing even if it's like if you want to make a swatch journal for your HTV or your vinyl and you want to put it on a bigger scale but keep it kind of condensed, this is a video for you. This is Jane Davenport Mermaid Markers, Mental Dewdrops. Now, the reason why I'm showing this journal, not because I'm like, oh, look at all these different things I have. This reason why I'm showing this journal is because I have stamps, dies, like a whole bunch of stuff, and I have to keep an eye on my stash. A lot of you are coming into the new year by having bought a stash, and you're like, okay, how I got all this stuff? How do I keep track of it? Here's a solution for you. If you're somebody who had an old happy planner, you have the covers, you have the rings, you have, even if you don't, if you just buy the rings, you have the punch. These are the rings. You can make yourself journals for swatches. If you're an HTV person and you're watching this because mostly I do HTV videos, you can take a small clip of them, like I showed you with the rings that I have that holds all of my vinyl colors, and just heat them onto paper so that when you gotta flip through, if you can't figure out where you put your ring, like I don't know where mine is right now, you have a thing that says here. These are what my colors are. These are what the colors look like. If you got customers that come in and they want to see what you have, like you don't want to have to keep pulling out rings all the time. Make yourself a journal. Put them in there. I have the two punches. I have the Happy Planner punch, as well as I have a bigger punch that I bought from Staples. I go back. I haven't used these in a long time, but this is going towards my organization videos. This is for my help people organize, and I want people to use their stash. And one thing that'll help you use your stash is actually knowing what you have. So these are different paper types. Go to Walmart. They got those because they got what, I get the word, but that's what this is. I got this paper from Walmart. I bought it for $5 for the pack. I cut them down using guillotine cutter. You can have your paper cutter. You could use scissors if you have to. It doesn't matter. You use what you have. You use a punch, or if you don't have a punch yet, make your swatches and stack them to the side. When you get your punch, put the rings on them. The reason why I like these rings, you can uh, pull the pages out easier, without damaging this. Or if you're somebody who has carpal tunnel and you can't lift the rings, using something like this will help you, because you can just pull the pages out, pop the pages back in. They might get loose, but you can reinforce them. If you have to put two pages together to make it more reinforced, go ahead. This book right here is one of my many that I did when I was doing cards. They are like, these are my Tim Holtz dewdrops, my markers. Like if I want to know what a color looks like, And my tip for this is, if you're somebody who's looking at this video and you're coming from a place of doing cards, you get overwhelmed with so many papers and markers and like color pencils and everything else. Don't get overwhelmed. My suggestion to you would be, make a book like this. Every type of paper that you use, make a page. Draw a line, a heart, star, circle, whatever, with every color on that thing, on whatever paper it is, and use that as a reference. So that when you get to a point where you're like, oh, I gotta color something, and I want it to be this color, but I'm not sure what they'll look like on this paper, you already did it. It's already done. If you're somebody coming into this and you're like, oh, I want to do art journaling, and I'm not sure, same thing. Every type of paper that you use, as soon as you get the paper, you're like, oh, I'm curious. And you got to the point where you're like, oh, I'm going to try it, and I'm going to love it. Every type. Like, these are postcards. This is a postcard. And I have multiples of these, where I don't know. But I did my due diligence for any type of card, any type of paper that I would use for my markers, my pencils, my color pencils. I got it out of the way, making myself a swatch. So I know, oh, if I want this color, I want it to be more blue-green instead of a foresty green or whatever. I don't have to go searching to see, does this one look like this, and mess up my work. If you're somebody who is like doing your business and you want to get organized with it, like I said before, and you're like, yo, I'm doing my HTV, I'm on it, I got those rings, but the rings keep losing like they do for Asia. Take a little bit, swatch, heat it to this page, keep that together. You ain't got to worry about where your rings went, because they all together. Somebody comes in, they like, yo, what colors you got? You like, yo, I gotta color this, I gotta color that. It's a glitter, it's a reflective, it's a blah, 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 blah. They like, take the swatch book out, show them while it's heated. Let them make a decision. Use what you have. You don't have to go and buy expensive, like, color chart making things, or go out and buy expensive books and stuff like that. Like, make your stuff. Use your stash. That's my goal this year, is for people to be comfortable with what they have. Love the purchase that they have. Take stock in what they have. And use what they have. Because I need to do it myself. And this paper, this is from Walmart. Now, Walmart has, what is that paper? It's a heavy cardstock. 300 GSM, I think, is what it is. And I got it from Walmart. $5. I don't know. I have no clue how much it is right now. The price may have gone up. The price may be the same. Invest in what you need to get it over with. And then you ain't got to do it again. As long as you take care of it, you ain't got to do it again. And I would suggest, if you don't have a happy punch, because that's where these extra pages come from. With me having making swatches and stuff with these bigger pages, I will get markers or whatever, make my swatch sheet, put it aside. I don't think about it anymore. I need to get back into doing that. But yeah, hope this helps. Oh, and let me show you one more example. Let's see. If you can't, oops. I'm not going to be sitting here editing this video like crazy, so y'all going to see some things, and I apologize, but this is a Crafty chat, and it is what it is. One thing I'm realizing, I'm being honest about myself with 2023, is that I don't like editing. I will edit stuff out, but yeah, keep it simple. So this is another thing for my people who are swatchers, but you have to make a swatch because you're using paints and stuff like that. This is watercolor cardstock. No, watercolor cardstock, 300 GSM. It's thicker. This might be what you want to use if you're using like HTV or whatever. Definitely if you're doing watercolors, you will get a different color using, well, I'm saying this wrong. You might see differences when it comes to the papers that you use. That's why you get it done. Get it out of the way. These I made using these jump rings. I bought the jump rings from Dollar Tree. I used a hole punch and made them. At first, I was buying them. And there's nothing wrong with buying them when you first start off. But if you don't have it, don't buy it. Don't go out of your way. Make your own. These are what I ended up making. So these are the paper types that I use. Like Strathmore. Like, there's so much paper I have. I don't even remember all of it. But my watercolor cardstock, my smooth press, my heat press, my hot press, watercolor cardstock, my cardstocks, my heavyweight, my regular weight, different colors. Like, just make yourself a thing. And I got them all linked to each other. This is one that I bought. If you're somebody who you can't sit there and make them, Simon Says Stamps. I don't know how much these cost anymore. You don't want to focus on it. That's okay, because I'm not getting promoted by it. But these are my stamps. I bought a stamp, and I swatched or drew the stamp. So I had a uniform size, uniform color. Sometimes I colored it in with water if it was watercolor, whatever. I made myself swatch books. The swatch book doesn't have to be this big, but you make it the size that you need it to be. When it comes to like inks, paints, pencils, stamps, dyes, reflective. See how these are reflective inks? Like, just get organized with your stuff. You know what you have. You know what you bought it. Now you gotta know what you got. So when you're going to go use it, hopefully you remember where you put it. Hopefully this helps. Later, y'all.